This is Caleb Jones, and this is the Alpha Male 2.0 podcast, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. And today I have something very different for you. I'm going to try this as an experiment. And if you guys like what I do today, let me know, and I will do more of it. And if you guys hate it, then I won't do any more of it. So you let me know. Today, for this podcast, I am basically going to present to you a recorded coaching call, a call I did with someone with a lot of questions on both his woman life and his business life, a guy named Sid, guy living in India. You can just listen to that, and I go into detail on a lot of very important topics in this call. This was a really good call, that's why I wanted to show you guys. And again, at the end, if you like this format, if you like listening in on coaching calls I do with guys, please let me know. Either email me or DM me or leave a comment, however that works for you, and I will do more of this. So here it is, me and Sid. Enjoy. Okay, cool. I'm on the phone with Sid. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How about you?
I'm very good.
Great.
So let's cover some basics first. So you are, why don't you tell me how old you are?
I'm 42 years old.
42, and where do you live?
I live in a place called Pune. If you know Mumbai in India.
Yes.
So this is about 160 kilometers from Mumbai.
Is that north of Mumbai?
This is southeast of Mumbai.
Oh, I'm way off. Holy crap. Okay, cool. Have you been there your whole life?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And you understand, and I have to make this disclaimer every time I talk to someone outside the Western world, you understand that my business models work anywhere, but my woman models work better in the Western world. There's applications to those things, but They work best in the Western world. So there might be aspects of things in India. I've talked to a lot of guys in India, so I'm reasonably familiar with the dynamics over there. Even though I've never been there, it's on my list. I got to go. But anyway, so as long as you understand that some of the things that I talk about may not work quite as well as it. A lot of things work perfectly in India. Some things don't.
Yes.
As long as you understand all that.
Yes.
Because you wanted to talk about both woman stuff and business stuff today, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll let you start. I'll probably interrupt you with questions as you go, but go ahead.
No problem.
Oh, so wait, actually, one more question. So give me your current living status and your current dating status. Do you live alone? Do you live with family, kids?
Okay. So I was just going to give you a bit of introduction about myself. So is it okay if I cover both of these things in that only?
Sure.
Right. So like I told you, I've been born and brought up in India. I'm an Indian by ethnicity. So I'll give you a mix of both my dating life currently and where I stand, like you asked me whether I'm alone or what. So the last I dated was in 2002, way back in 2002. So I got a girl, dated her for 1.5 years. And like all of your material, I think that actually applies to me. I got one-itis. I got married to the same woman in 2014. Mm-hmm. And first year of marriage was awesome. It was all.
Wait, I need a clarification. So you met her in 2002 and you married her in 2014?
2004.
So you met her in 4. You met her in 04 and you married her in 14?
No. I met her in 2002 and married her in 2004.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got it. Okay, got it.
Right. So I've been married all these years, so almost 16 years now.
All right.
So
you're married now?
No, I'm just on the verge of, I'm in the process of divorce.
Okay.
So my decree was supposed to happen a couple of months back, but because of this coronavirus, it got delayed. So I'm just, hopefully in July, I might have a date. So just keeping my fingers crossed for that.
You are probably, this is really interesting. You're probably, let's see, I want to say the 5th guy I have communicated with over the past few months who is getting divorced in India. And we used to talk about how India was like 1% divorce rate, but now
it's
times are changing in India, aren't they?
It's changing big time. It's changing.
Oh my God. I think the divorce rate's going up faster in India than it is in China, which I'm surprised. It does surprise me a lot.
That I'm not aware, but in India, I can definitely tell you my generation or even the folks that are in their 30s and all, the divorce rate has shot up like anything in India. It's huge now. So that 1% data that you have, that is, I think probably you're referring to the earlier generations.
Okay. Yes, true. And India has always been held up as this wonderful country. It is a wonderful country. There's a lot to like about India. A lot to like about Indians. But it's held up as this wonderful place to stay married and never get divorced. 1% divorce rate. Like, no, not anymore. The West is invading everything.
Actually,
So did you have
actually,
kids?
I have one kid. Yes,
How
I
old?
have one kid of 11.
11. And how old is your wife?
My wife is 37. I'm 42.
37?
37. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So are you cohabiting with her now or no?
No, she and my kid are living separate, but then
Got it.
we are co-parenting.
Yes. Okay. How often do you see your kid?
So usually on the weekends, but it is not a strict, and as in legally or anything, there's no strict thing that I have. We can see each other anytime. But then
Okay.
generally it happens over the weekend because he's got his school, I've got my work, she's also working, so she's got her work. So
Okay.
in the
Is it
weekdays
pretty
it is hectic.
is it pretty amicable right now with you and her?
Yes, in fact, I turned it that way. In fact, it is one of the things is thanks to your material that I've been going for the last 1 year or so,
Mhm.
and SMIC that I have been going through for the last 3 months.
Okay. Good.
Plus a couple of other courses that I did, something called as conscious uncoupling. So that's
Oh yeah, I
something
know
that
about that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's from Mind Valley. So that concepts I really took off with both of us, and then we
Good.
decided rather than getting into a contested divorce, why not do it amicably? So we share excellent relations now. Though the last 2.5 years have been horrible for us, but then now everything is fine for the last 6 months or so.
Good. And
But we
you said
actually,
you don't have a decree yet. You're waiting on that. Is that correct?
yes.
I'm peripherally familiar with divorce law in
Right.
India. Okay, got it. All right, go ahead.
This is as far as the dating goes. So basically, I have been off the dating market for a very, very extremely long time. So
Yes.
actually, probably the worlds have changed from 2002 to today. Everything has changed.
Yes, significantly. And I was there. I know I can feel your pain. I went through that exactly myself.
Right. So this is as far as this goes. So I stay here alone. My parents stay in the same city, but about 10 kilometers away from here.
Hmm.
To give you a little bit of about my business background, so basically I belong to the general insurance segment. Since I got married, I have been into this. I worked for about 10 years or so with various companies at various levels, and then with this entire corporate bullshit, I got tired of it, and then decided one day to start my own business. I mean, I was planning to do it for some time, but then finally I took a step in 2014. I started this business model in general insurance. And this is very similar to what you teach in Alpha 2.0. So I'll tell you how. Uh, I hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Keep going.
Okay. So
One
basically,
question. So you said general insurance. Is that life insurance? Is that what type of insurance is that?
it is non-life. So it is property. It is vehicle insurance. Then
Okay.
corporates. I'm by and large into the SME. That is the small and medium corporates. So that
Okay.
is my core segment.
All right.
That is entirely non-life. I'm not into life.
Okay.
So how my business is pretty similar to Alpha 2 is because I'm almost location independent. I'll tell you why almost.
Mhm.
Because other than making the deal at the time of actual signing of the deal, only that is the time I actually need to go at a client's place. Otherwise, everything happens online. My entire model is online.
Hmm.
I earn about 55,000 US dollars pre-tax and pre-expenses.
Okay.
I have no employees.
Is that an annual figure?
That's an annual figure, yes.
Okay.
So
Is that your
near
only
to-
source of income right now?
Currently, yes. Currently,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Okay.
I have no employees. I have no office. Like you have, I have a little bit of staff who support me for the whole thing. I have no employees.
Hmm. Okay. Good.
So just that little bit more of location independence, and I think I increase my income. Plus, I add a couple of more lines in the business, in some other line of business, rather some other niche that you have been telling us about.
Hmm.
So that is one area where I want your help. And dating.
Really quick, what aspect of that is not location independent?
That to crack a deal or every time I have to be at a client's place. I cannot. They will not be. These are because kind of traditional kind of clients, so they are not comfortable making a deal on the phone. Even if they are repeat clients for me, I need to be there at their place when we are signing the deal. Remaining everything, the servicing and everything can happen online. So they didn't.
You're,
They
you're
don't.
talking about you're actually talking about signing the initial deal, actually executing the deal. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so you can support it location dependently, but you feel you need to go there to create the deal. Yes.
Yes,
That's what you're saying?
yes, yes.
Got it.
And
Okay.
since these are 1 year contracts, so then again the next year when these are due, because these are due across the year, there are a lot of policies that are due across the year. So I need to be there physically to take that. So
And are
minus
these
of that,
mostly corporate? Are these mostly corporate customers or these individuals?
yes, These are
business.
by and large. I have about I would say 70-80% are all corporates, and
Good.
about 20-25% are all retail.
Good.
Retail, we don't need
I would do
to.
100% corporate, but we could talk about it later.
Yes.
All right. Got it. Okay.
So there are two things that I wanted to ask you about. One is I don't know if is it okay if I start with the dating life?
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's start with dating first.
Okay, great. So basically, my thing is that I am actually personally interested in dating Western women.
Okay.
So, like I told you, I'm a 42-year-old Indian male, have always been here. And like you have mentioned in one of your materials, there are men who let their health go because they are in one ITs, they're in one relation. Same thing happened with me.
Yep. Very
So
normal.
I had, I
Happened to me too.
Yeah. So I'm not fat or obese.
You were married. So wait, how long were you actually married? You were married for, let's see,
15 and a half years.
15,
June 2000.
longer than I was. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a long time. Yeah, you're right. Especially for someone your age. Although you get married young in India, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Okay.
June of 2004, I got married, and November of 2019, I filed for divorce. So 15 and a half years.
Did you, be honest now, did you cheat during the marriage at all?
No, actually, it was the other way around. She cheated on me.
Oh, okay.
So,
Got it. Was that recent or was that a long time ago?
That was about 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago.
Okay.
So after that, we had extremely bad 3 years. We had a lot of cat fights. We had, fights going on into the middle of the night, banging, a lot of drama from both sides, even from my side, of course. So it was actually a hell for both of us for the last 3 years.
Yes.
So then finally I had to take a call. In fact, thanks to one of my friend who introduced me to your material. So I could actually, from the last 1 year, I've been following your material. So that actually gave me the confidence and a direction as to how I can do something.
Good. But I interrupted you for your question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I was telling you, I'm not fat or obese per se. Or generally, I used to be an athlete in my school days. I used to be a martial artist in my school days. So that way my physique was pretty good. Only thing is that unfortunately I have grown a paunch. It's a beer belly that I have got. So
standard crap for guys in their 40s. Yes.
Actually. So one of the actual questions is that, like you have talked about obesity and where health has fallen and all that people need to get back into shape. But this actually is a genuine question to you because I have not really got an answer from my friends or other material I was referring to. Is paunch too much of an issue in the dating world?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the general answer. The general answer is you have to optimize your physical appearance as much as humanly possible within your height and your genetics. Right. But that leaves a lot, you can't use your genetics as an excuse either. I have pretty shitty genetics. I have a sister who is almost 400 pounds. She's my direct full sister, and she can't even walk upstairs. And that's what I would look like if I just ate whatever I want. But I can't use that as an excuse. I'm still too overweight.
Right.
So I can't use that excuse. It's just going to be more difficult if you have shitty genetics. The journey is longer and it's more difficult. That's all. But if you're asking me, so you're asking me, is it acceptable to have a pooch in the dating environment? How big is it?
Yes.
See, I don't have one. I never had a big belly. I gain weight all over. Kind of. I grow sideways instead of a lot of guys in their 40s, maybe even most guys in their 40s. The skinny fat type of guy where he looks okay, except he's got this big belly hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other guys like me. I don't have a belly. I don't have a six pack either. But I don't have a belly. Right. But I get big sideways. I gain the weight everywhere. My face, my chest, my back, places like that. So it depends on where you gain weight. So do you have? How big is it? Yeah, let's start there.
I would say.
Do you look pregnant, or you got a little pooch down there?
Since I've been working out for the last 6 months and following a diet plan, this is reduced. But yes, it looks slightly pregnant. Yes, I would say.
Yeah, that's bad. Yep. How does if I saw you standing in front of me and I put my hand over my eyes where your stomach is, and I can see the rest of you but not your stomach, how does the rest of you look in terms of body fat?
Rest of it is fine.
Objective. Be honest.
It is absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine.
Yeah, so you're one of those guys. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then you're one of those guys. Yeah, I have a lot of buddies like that. They look fine, except they got a big belly. Yes, yeah, that's a problem. Yes. That's a problem. Now, can you get laid with a belly? Is it possible? Yeah. I've seen guys do it. Of course, it's just harder. So the standard model is that you can achieve any results you want. It's just harder if you don't look as good. So if you
Right.
say, I want to have sex with a super hot 25-year-old white girl,
Mm.
but I got a pooch, is that, some guys say, well, that's impossible. It's impossible. You got to start looking. No, it is possible. You just have to put in a lot of goddamn numbers.
Right.
I went through a
Right.
year or two where I had to put in a lot, where I was the heaviest many years ago,
Right.
where I had to put in a lot. I mean, I made it work, but boy, did I work hard. God damn.
Right. Right.
So that's the answer. So, but yes, you've got to minimize that as best as humanly possible. And if that means you never get to a six pack, but you reduce that thing by 80, 70%, great.
Mhm.
That's fine. Fine.
Okay. Fantastic.
Especially if the rest of you looks good and you do everything else correctly on first and second dates and relationship management.
Fantastic. Great.
But yes, if you look pregnant, you've got to fix that. Fuck yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
And it ends up saving. And the reason for that is not outside of the health reasons. It saves you time in your dating life. So
True.
when I lost my initial 40 pounds, the amount of work I had to put in to get to my objectives in terms of 3 women on rotation, bringing new in all the time, all those things was so much easier. My first and second dates were so much more successful and so much easier when I was 40 pounds less. It was night and day. It was so much nicer.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
Right. Would it be right to say that we would, as a man, I would have a lot more options and a lot more freedom to choose because I'm in a better shape? Is it one of the right ways to put it?
That's not how I look at it. The way I look, I mean, the answer is yes, but that's not my viewpoint on it. How I look at it is you have all the options you want. It's just how long and how difficult will it be to get to those options.
Right. Right.
So if you're 42 and you want to date an average looking 42-year-old woman, will she really give a shit if you have a pooch? Probably not. If you want to date a super hot 25-year-old white girl, is she going to care? She's going to care a lot more than the 42-year-old average woman.
Right.
So again, does that mean your chances are zero with the hot girl? No, it's just a lot more work and time and effort and a lot of 25-year-old hot white girls. A lot of them.
Right.
Date after date after date after date that doesn't work. And eventually you stumble on one that gives you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Got the point.
Yeah.
So again, one more question related to dating. Like I told you, I'm interested in dating Western women. So if I were to talk about the Indian scenario, Western women or the Westerners can be found in, by and large, maybe you have heard these names, maybe Goa or Manali, Pondicherry, only maybe 7-8 kind of places.
Yes.
So these are very far from my place. Okay, I can travel there, but my main...
How far is Goa? Goa is great for that. How far is Goa?
Goa is about 500 kilometers from.
Oh shit!
Where I
Okay,
stay.
that's a problem. Yeah,
that's like about 9 hours drive.
that's a problem if you're location dependent. Although I just remembered you have a kid. You have a kid too, so you're kind of logistically location dependent for a while, right?
Not really, because he's not dependent on me because he's staying with his mom.
Okay.
So that way he doesn't depend on me. And anyways, whatever the child support, I'm giving child support. Plus we keep on meeting off and on. So that way
this is where your business life ties in directly to your dating life, which is why I cover both. If you become 100% location independent in your business, going to Goa is not going to be a big deal at all.
Right.
Like now it's a big deal.
Now, yes, because I have to
so that's why dating and that's why your business life and your dating life are intertwined.
Right.
Yes. So if you address the location dependence problem, you talk about freedom of options. That gives you the freedom of options to go wherever you want, whenever you want.
True.
Yeah.
Just that here, my main question is that, like, you basically teach online dating as far as dating goes, though you have done day game in your day.
Yeah.
But in this case, for me, I'm not even sure how to start off approaching Western women, because on online searches, I am not sure whether I'll be able to get really, because I don't think they'll have filters wherein they would want to have Indian men that way. So I don't know how to approach them. So I'll just ask you a couple of questions and then probably you can maybe answer completely.
Okay.
This was one thing about how do I approach them. Second, one more thing important thing I need to inform you is that I love travel, world travel. Though I have not been able to do too much of world travel all these years, but I have been planning to start. But again, due to this coronavirus, I think plans will be delayed till next year.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see when it ends.
Yep.
So there'll be 2 scenarios where I'll be meeting Western women. One is these hotspots in India, like I told you, 7-8 places. And another one is where I travel abroad. There, obviously, we'll be meeting up with them. So how do I start off? What do I say? Because I'm at a disadvantage. I think that I'm at a disadvantage as compared to a Western man. One is my height. One is my age. One is me not being in a dating scene for quite a while. So I'm not able to get out of this trap.
You're able to get out. It's going to take you more time. First of all, how
Okay.
tall are you in American measurements? Or millimeters, I can convert.
I can tell you in feet. I can convert in
Okay.
mm.
Tell me
I'm
in feet
five feet
because I'm a
six.
dumb American. So tell me in feet.
I'm a 5 feet 6 inches. That's 5.5 feet in.
Okay.
So that's an average Indian man's
Yeah.
height.
Yeah. So that
Just
is short, but not nowhere near midget. But all right.
no,
Yes.
no.
In terms of the West. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to harm you. So you gave me a lot. So let me rewind a second. In terms of doing day game, and I always have to say this, I am not a day game expert. I'm probably I am not the guy to ask about day game. There are guys who are way better than me in day game, but I can tell you the bits and pieces that I do know. And I've done day game a long time. I've talked to a lot of day game guys, and a lot of guys in my audience do day game. In terms of white women in places like Goa and places like that, there are guys who completely focus on and are successful with women who are visiting.
Okay.
Vacation game. That's what they call it.
Right.
And because when women go on vacation and they're far away from their husbands, boyfriends, social circle, things like that, their ASD drops. So an ASD on vacation, unless she's on vacation with her boyfriend or husband, if she's on her vacation with her family or vacation by herself or vacation with her girlfriends, her ASD is much lower. So if you focus on the visiting women, you'll tend to do better.
Okay.
It's a big thing. It's kind of a big secret that most people don't know outside of this world. Is that when women go on vacation, they do all kinds of sexual shit that they would never do when they're not on vacation. So you could, if you wanted to, a strategy focus on those types of women, visiting women.
Right. Then that's a short term or a casual kind of a encounter.
That would be very short term. No, that'd be like one night stand, 2 night stands, and then they're gone.
Right.
So we're not talking about building relationships here, unfortunately.
Okay.
If you want to build relationships with Western women, you're going to have to move to a city with a lot of Western women, period, end of story. Or if you're going to do 5 flags type stuff, spend X number of months per year in a city like that.
Okay.
At a bare minimum.
Okay.
And that's just logistics. There's no way around it. If you want FBs, MLTRs ongoing with white girls, you're not going to do it in your city. You're probably not going to do it in the city in which you live, which means you need to address your location dependence in your business side.
Right.
Really quick about your height. You need to get elevator shoes.
Right.
I can't give any websites that are in India, but there are plenty of places in India. Elevator shoes and or shoe lifts. Elevator shoes are much more comfortable than shoe lifts. But shoe lifts work. And I would go 2 inches, maybe 3 at the most.
Okay.
So that would get you from 5'6" to 5'9", which would be okay. If you went to 3. I'm 5'10" when I'm barefoot, although I'm never barefoot. So, but I know plenty of guys who are 5'9" who do just fine with girls. 5'8", just fine. They do just fine. Below 5'8" is where it gets tricky. So that's easy. Elevator shoes, shoe lifts, done. And you're still not tall. You're still shorter than the average white guy. I don't know what the average height of the white guy is. I'm not sure, but maybe it's 5'9", 5'10".
Right.
You're in the average zone. That's the next thing.
Right.
Next thing on top of that is, and you probably read this if you read my materials, but maybe you haven't, is your internal problems as a man raised in India in terms of your parents and your negative societal conditioning regarding those things. Have you read articles about that I've read?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have.
That's going to be your biggest challenge. Your height and your pooch are challenges, your biggest challenge by far. And boy, do I know a lot about this because I have communicated with a lot of guys from India, guys who live in the West from India and so on. That's your biggest challenge. You're going to feel nervous around women. You're going to feel inappropriate around women. Your game is, I'm not saying, you sound much more confident than a lot of other Indian guys I talk to. So this may not be a problem for you or as big of a problem. But that is what you have to focus on. Your internal negative, false societal programming about women, dating, and sex.
Right.
If you've raised in India and you're a man, you've got some of this. And as I tell my Indian guys, you'll probably never clean it out 100%.
Right.
You might clean out 70%. And there are guys in my audience, guys in SMIC too, who are really good with women, white girls, and they're Indian guys. But they clean 80% of it out. They're physically fit. They're very confident. They've calibrated their game, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So how once even if I were to move, say, to a place like Goa or maybe outside India where I am amidst these Western women, I have this maybe it is to do with societal programming as you're saying. I'm not sure how to approach them or keep on or build good conversations. That is something that I'm not very confident about. Confident in the sense I don't know what to do.
Well, those are two different things. Approaching and conversations are two completely different skill sets. I am weak when it comes to approaching women during the day because I'm not a day game guy. I've done it.
Right.
When I do it, if I haven't done it lately, but I have done it just as practice for fun. I'm confident enough where I can just approach and say hi, just start talking and not get nervous. I don't really use technique, but I'm just really confident, so it's easier for me. So I really couldn't help you with that. There's a lot of day game resources you could look up. A lot of them, a lot of dudes. Tom Torero is my favorite.
Okay.
Good looking loser's really good on how to approach.
Okay.
And frankly, if you're a bare bones beginner, you should just walk up and start saying hi. Hi.
Okay.
That's it. We start there. But again, I can't really advise you on that. Conversation skills, I can advise you on. That's easy. Not easy, but it's easy to learn. I talk about this in Get to Sex Fast. I have a whole chapter on it. But the basics of basic conversational skills, in my opinion, is be the one who's asking questions. And always ask a question based on the last thing they just said.
Right.
And let them do 80% of the talking, especially if it's in a seduction dating environment.
Right.
The more they talk, your odds go up. The more you talk, your odds go down. That applies to when you're talking to someone via day game, night game, what have you, or on a first date. That doesn't matter.
Right.
You want her to do most of the talking, so you want to be asking the questions. And if instead of just the miscalibration of asking questions is that you ask, so where do you live? I live here. Oh, okay. Do you have any family? Yeah, I have a sister there. Oh, what do you do for a living? These questions are not connected.
Right.
So you just ask a question based on what she said. Where do you live? Live in Goa. Oh, really? You visiting here? Yeah, I'm visiting here. How long are you here? Oh, I'm here for a week. So every question I'm asking is based on what she just said. So it sounds very natural. And whoever asks the questions controls the conversation.
Right.
So you need to get very good at being a good question asker.
Right.
While in a day game environment or a seduction/dating environment, while controlling your body language. Which is another thing that might be a little more difficult for you as an Indian. Standing up straight, chest out, stomach sucked in, shoulders back, head down a little bit, relaxed expression on your face, very important. Not a nervous expression, not an overly eager expression, relaxed, cool, chill expression. If you're standing, if you're sitting back. I've talked about this a lot. Sitting back, you're not slouched forward, and you're not sitting up straight like you're in the Marines. You're sitting back, very relaxed, almost like you don't give a shit, very outcome independent. Right. Asking questions while controlling body language. Those two things at the same time.
Right. Maybe I think I just need to practice this because I think that is what will actually give me the confidence, because these techniques you've already talked about in a lot of your material, and I have bought your entire dating system and all. So I keep on going through that.
Now, one thing you can do, one thing I recommend, because day game is hard, especially if you're starting from a negative, you're not starting from zero, you're starting from below zero like I was back in 2007. What you could do, and this is kind of what I did this indirectly, but I did this. You could start with online dating with Indian women. Go as young as you can, as hot as you feel you can. Go on a few first dates and practice these skills on the online first dates. Get that kind of in your system and then start hitting day game. I've had guys do that who were successful, ended up being more successful at day game than online, but they started with online for that reason. I did that. I didn't mess with day game for, 2 years until I was doing online for 2 years. Yeah. Because I had the skill set from online from all the practice I had of these first dates. Because on a first date, online first date, she's there. She can't go anywhere. So that's where you can practice.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll start that.
Yeah.
Right. So then I would like to ask you a little bit about the niche in the Alpha 2.0 business, a new business that I would like to start. Now, again, I have been through your SMIC material plus your the other material relating to your business and all. I am looking at adding one more business right now, and then probably one more as I go forward.
Okay.
So right now, my basic thing is that, like you have always said, that finding your own niche is the biggest of the challenge. Once that is through, then everything else becomes fun and exciting and more like an adventure.
Exactly.
So I'm just not able to finalize, or just not able to maybe narrow down on a niche which I could start off. Because I have been because like I have got this one-itis for my own business, because 17 years I've been in the insurance business. So it has become a world for me. So
what is the offering that you're thinking about for this new business? What's the product, service, or information? Or are you that far yet?
I am. See, I'll just tell you one thing. If I were to, like, I just heard one of your podcasts, maybe I think yesterday or day before, wherein you were talking about a difference between specialization and niche.
Yes.
So I'll just tell you something. So maybe you can guide me better in this.
Okay.
If I were to talk about specialization, I am extremely good at organizing and creating a system of things, system out of things.
Mm-hmm.
So which will give an operational efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have always said that I need to, as in we, as a seller need to make the client's position better. Either he has to earn more or he has to save cost.
Correct.
But in this case, what I can, it will be an indirect, either saving of money or earning will be indirect effect, because all I can get in is efficiency or systematizing things. So do you think that this
efficiency improves costs? Excuse me, efficiency reduced costs. So that would not
reduces
be
cost? Yes,
increased revenue. That'd be reduced costs.
reduced cost. Yes. So is that? I don't know how to go about it, because this is the only thing that I can think of really as far as a business goes. And that too, even if I see, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'll just complete one more thing and then you can tell me. Have you heard of this person called Marie Kondo? She has this KonMari method. She's a Japanese.
How do you spell the last name?
Kondo, if I'm not wrong. Marie Kondo.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So she's a person who's, I think she's a Japanese and now settled in the US. Mm-hmm. She has developed her own system of organizing things called as KonMari method.
Okay.
And it has worked extremely well in the retail segment. She's become a millionaire because of that, is what I'm told.
Okay.
So the way she has done it for retail, I want to do something for the SME, that is the small and medium business, or the corporate kind of scenario. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to. Is this the right thing I should focus on, or should I get on to something else?
It's a starting point. So your skill set is you can organize complex systems into effective systems. Okay,
absolutely.
And I have a similar skill. Okay, good.
Yes.
So that is broad enough and narrow enough to start looking at a niche. Because instead of saying I'm going to help you with your inventory control systems, or I'm going to help you with supply chain, something real specific, instead you can say I organize systems and I can increase effectiveness, efficiency. So then you look at niches and say, what are the niches that have the problems that I can help fix? And you start, well, if you read my materials, you probably know what I'm going to say. The easiest place to start is you make a list of niches that you have seen in your life. You're in your 40s. You've been around. I know you could probably list at least 12, 13, 14 niches that you have heard of or seen, even if you saw them 15, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And then you make a second column and say, how can my skill set of optimizing systems help this particular niche based on their problem? Or instead you ask, what is the biggest problem I perceive, and I'm guessing, that this niche may have? Or a problem. If you can't think of some guys say, well, I don't know what the biggest problem is. We can ask 5 people. But if you don't want to do that, what is a problem you're aware that niche probably has?
Okay.
So you write next to the niche, what is a problem they have? Can I help fix that problem or alleviate that problem from my skill set? And if you do that with 10 niches, shit, even 5, but you really should do 10. And I say 10 to you. If you were 25, I'd say pick 3. You're 42, pick 10. Brainstorm 10. Then the next column is what is a problem that niche has? And the third column is, can my skill set address or alleviate that problem? Now, in some cases, it's going to be no, it really can't. Okay, great. Cross off list. If it can, how?
Okay. So say just for my understanding. So say we have say government, even government. I think the governments in India are pretty as far as this organizing and efficiency and effectiveness goes, they are not very systematic.
They're terrible. Yes, India is terrible.
They're terrible. Yes. So if I were to, just as an example, if I were to approach, say, my local municipal corporation or maybe the government of my state, and if I were to give them this offer, of course, that's a very big scale. I'm just giving an example for my understanding.
Okay.
So if I go to them and tell them that, okay, this is the problem that you're currently facing, this is the solution that I can provide to you. Is that how you're saying that I should approach the client or the niche rather?
No. The way you would approach it is you would go to that human, whoever that is, that job title, that person in that area which you can help solve. And you can say, my assumption is based on my experience with your industry or blah, blah, blah. A lot of people in the industry, based on my research and based on XYZ, my experience, what have you, are these things. Is that true with you? Is that true with you? Or are you experiencing something else? And then you shut up and listen to him. Let him tell
Right.
you what his problem is. You
Right.
don't just say, here's your problem, I'm going to help you fix it when you're a consultant, because that's kind of what you're talking about.
Okay.
You want to elicit what they view as their problems. He has a much better understanding of his problems than you do. Let him tell you. He may say, no, that's not really a problem. Well, then what is your problem? What is the biggest problem? Oh, well, my biggest problem is this. And he may give you something that's completely different. Then you ask yourself in your own little head, can my skill set help address this problem? And if you can, you say, great, here's how I can help you with this. But now, you don't say that until you've asked a lot of questions. This is very similar to conversational skills with women. I ask, when I do initial consultations with prospects for consulting, I'm asking a lot of questions. I have a notepad out. I'm writing things down. Oh, the problem is this. Well, then why is that a problem here? Well, it's a problem here because how much money does that cost you? What costs about this? How often does that problem occur? Is that a quarterly? Is it an ongoing problem? Is it a recurring problem? I go through great detail and I build a lot of information. I also, as part of the sales technique, build the pain. How much pain is this causing you? How much of a pain in the ass is this for you? How much money are you losing because of this, et cetera?
Right.
Then at the end, I say, okay, here's what I can help you address. ABC.
Okay.
That's how you do it. You don't walk into it. You never walk in. In terms of consulting now, you don't walk into someone's office, or virtually in my case, because it's location dependent, and say, here's your problem, I'm going to help you fix it. No. You ask.
Right.
My understanding is one of the reasons I'm here, Mr. Prospect, is because you're experiencing this type of problem or this type of limit. Am I correct on that? Am I correct in assuming that, or am I inaccurate? Then let him tell you. He may say, yes, that is exactly the problem. Great. But often I would say maybe 60% of the time you do something like that, they'll say, well, not really. My real problem is this.
Okay.
And then you have 2 or 3, 4 meetings like that. And if you get some consensus on the types of problems for that niche, now you've got a real business. Now you know exactly what to focus. So on the 5th prospect meeting, you know exactly what his problems are. And now you can start writing a really good website, a really good LinkedIn page, things like that. A little ebook you can hand out to people on how to solve that problem in that niche.
Okay. So now here, given my example, say organizing and getting things into a system, that being my core skill, I should look out for industries which have an issue with efficiency and effectiveness.
Well, not industries, niches. Every industry has an issue with that. Every industry is disorganized. Niches. So, niches within industries.
Within industry, I need to look for a niche, and then if, like you're saying, I can as narrow a niche as possible.
Yes.
Then go and approach those people and try to understand, ask questions. Maybe I meet up multiple people. And then once I get a hang of that, then I can give my offering.
Yes, and you can give your offering on the very first meeting, the very first time. If he states a problem and you think you can help, right then and there you say, okay, great. Here's how I think I can help you, A, B, C, D. I will go back to my office, and within 24 hours, I will send you a proposal on exactly what.
Okay.
But you first, this gets into sales for consulting. You have to quantify the problem. So if this problem, how much money does this problem cost you per year, per quarter? I don't know. Well, what do you think? And get a number. Well, that costs us $500,000 a year. All right. So if I help you fix this, your company would save $500,000 a year or so. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Great. Now you have a basis for what to charge them.
Okay.
And you've created pain.
Right. I'm sorry. So just for my understanding here. Now, suppose because of not having efficiency or effectiveness in their systems, how would that person be able to really quantify? Because he might just say that, okay, things are working out, but then we are having issues, we are having frictions everywhere, we are having frictions with people, we are running around, there are deadline issues and all that. Yes. But then actually per se, it does not really affect their bottom line or top line, maybe. How does one quantify in terms of not having efficiency?
You attach it to some other metric. So if they say, for example, you say how much money is this costing you per blank? They go, well, I really don't know. It's not about money. It pisses off our employees. Our employees are angry. They're arguing. They're fighting each other. They're fighting the suppliers. It's a fucking mess. Okay. Then what problem or problems is that creating?
Okay.
And you play dumb for a minute. You say, well, okay, so your employees are mad. Okay. Why is that a problem? Well, it's bad for employee morale. Why is that a problem? Attach it to something else. Well, we have high turnover. Aha! Now we can quantify that.
Okay.
Or our productivity has gone down. 3 years ago it was this, and now our employees are so angry, we've noticed that it's down to around here. Aha! Quantify that. And again, like I said, you guess. These are not accurate numbers. You guess. You and I both know if you run into a company where, and I've run into these companies where the employees are angry and furious all the time, that company loses massive amounts of money. Are you kidding?
Right.
But it is hard to quantify. So that's how you do it. A, you guess. B, you attach it to other areas in the company that you can quantify.
Okay. Fine. Great. So I think these are the couple things I wanted to ask. I think you've given fairly elaborate answers. I'll have to do some brain tinkering on my own also. Then actually start off and then see what happens. Then probably I'll be in a better position to come back to you as to what am I facing that.
And as always, take everything we've talked about today, write it out, I think you have, and then write it out as action items. So actually you take action on what we talked about today.
Sure.
Cool. Good question.
Sure. Yes.
You're going to be a lot happier when your divorce, and it's going to be a while because I know how long this takes in India, America too. When your divorce is completely over legally, you're going to feel a lot better. And you're going to be more effective not only in your woman life, but also in your confidence and in your business life. Both of these things are going to take off. I see it happen to me. I've seen it happen to a lot of men. It's not when the divorce is over. When the legal part of the divorce is all done, this giant anchor gets off your shoulder and suddenly you start becoming much more successful and effective in both these areas.
Right.
So that means, and frankly, in my opinion, your number one priority right now in your life is to get that divorce done, the legal aspect of that divorce, as quickly as humanly possible, even if it costs you money. Even if you have to throw money at it, get it done.
Right.
Because you're not going to be 100% effectiveness while this is going on.
Right.
And I tell that to all men going through a divorce. I talk to a lot of guys going through divorces, including and especially Western men. Get your divorce done. Priority one. Get that done. Get it over with. Now you can 100% focus on these other areas.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you so much.
Good questions. Love it.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Anytime.
Sure. Good seeing you then.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.